Yeah, so a lot of things happened in this episode. We have Floki escaping due to the help of Helga, his wife, um, and that didn't really turn out, so well because we have Ubi and Vitserk and the rest of, you know, their company, their men from Kattegat was able to find, Floki, and Ubi was the one, or Uber was the one to find him, like pretty much trying to hide underneath the water, and they're able to take Floki back to, Kattegat. And you have Ragnar trying to pretty much for like what it seems to be like the 20th time, try to have Floki admit that he killed Athelstan not because of the gods, but more so out of, jealousy and envy and all that. But once again, Floki wasn't having it. He said what he had to say. Um, yeah. Besides that, what else happened this episode? We have Rollo fresh off killing his own, his own people, pretty much having a meeting with Count Odo and the lackey boy, you know, and he's pretty much showing them, despite the language barrier, just showing through the actions and him using like the objects, whatever, that they should build like a chain to prevent the Viking boats from coming in, and they should also start building better boats based off of the Viking technology that he knows in order to combat them, whatever. So, what else happened in this episode? Okay. We have Ragnar going to Floki's home, Floki and Helga's home, and he's still pretty hampered. It's been I believe 3 or 4 years ever since Paris. He still has the eternal injuries, and he pretty much says to Helga, I know you pretty much helped Floki escape, but I understand because you're his wife, and you guys have a sickly daughter whose name I don't think I'll ever be able to pronounce, but I know it begins with an A. But yeah, besides that, I think Ragnar gives them grain for the winter. Since Floki, his fate's gonna be unknown, you know, for the foreseeable future, which shows Ragnar's compassion, what he's sort of known for, for the past 4 seasons. So we should. What else happens in this episode? We have Queen Quinthrith being sort of dethroned by her own nobles, and the nobles refuse to pay tribute to Wessex, aka King Egbert, and Ethelwulf, so they have to, go over to Mercia. And you have Ethelwulf trying to employ, the rest of the court to help sort of with the money to build a standing army. You have one of those guys saying that, what would you know about expense? You're the son of a king, and Ethelwulf gave that dude a little bit of a look like, you want this outside? Anyways, you have King Egbert saying, listen, it's wise for us to have a standing army because Ragnar and the Northmen could arrive at any moment. It'll make more sense for us to be prepared. Pretty much the same thing Ethelwulf was saying a few moments earlier. So yeah. Besides that, we have Count Odo and his little creepy little dominatrix, whatever, sadist, whatever, like weird little basement below, the city, I believe, below the court, and speaking to the girl again, and the girl's pretty much just picking him. I can just tell from this point that she's picking him for something. That there's a reason why. So you have him kind of admitting that it pisses him off that that little man, aka King Charles, is taking credit for the defeat of the Northmen when he was acting like a little bitch and a coward. When the siege was going on, especially when Ragnar killed the priest in front of him and took Princess Gisla away. He fainted like a bitch, and he said it really insults him. And he was saying that there was two good things that came from his little meeting with Rollo. Rollo showed him how to defeat the Northmen, and two, Princess Gisla most likely will divorce him, whether or not they consummate or not. So you have that girl, whatever, who he's with, saying that, sort of planning in his head that he should be the next emperor, and he kind of agrees. And she gives like an even bigger whip than usual, and he's like, "This is gonna hurt you a bit more." She's like, I don't care. He just like turned on by it, say this motherfucker, But anyways, besides that, you have like one of lackey boy, one of the main lackeys, Count Odo and King Charles, main lackey. You see him like rubbing oil on this girl's back, which is fucked up, yo. Like her shit was fucked, and he's putting oil on it, and you just sort of feel her pain. But it was crazy because she wasn't even yelling out. She was like, But if I was, I'd be like, oh, I'd be like, mother, God, don't touch me, shit like that, you know. But yeah, so it's pretty much in cahoots that they're together, whatever, and that he's pretty much using her as a little double agent to take information from Count Otto so that we can use it to his advantage and eventually replace him, and then let the cards fall where they may. So yeah, besides that, we have this really funny moment with Rolo pretty much portraying once again. At first, it was his Viking people last episode. In this episode, you see him sort of forsaking, his clothing and all that shit. He's totally Frankish now. So yeah, and you have him all dressed up. His hair's all cut and shit. It's ironic in a way. Kind of reminds me of Beauty and the Beast from Disney, when when the Beast tries to become more refined and shit, and he's all embarrassed. Except it's turned the other way around with with Princess Gizzard just laughing at him. It's fucking hilarious. Yeah. Besides that, you sort of see Bjorn finally making it to the northern cabin, and you can see his winter, and it's really fucking bad out. And you see him pretty much, being, trying to become his own man, doing things on his own, fishing, on his own, hunting, on his own. Then you can see that someone's watching him, and if it's the bear or the berserker, which ties into Erlander and Calf. Anyways, so I'm gonna tell you how they connect. So Erlander and Calf they pretty much hire a berserker to kill Bjorn, because Bjorn's, as everyone knows, is a hard man to kill, and you need the top dog to kill that motherfucker, because Bjorn's a badass. So pretty much Erlander gives him, the berserker, his father's ring, so that way he can go anywhere he wants, and he says, don't pretty much kill him by any means, and Calf says pretty much that when you do succeed, you'll be rewarded with gold and silver and all that shit. Which is interesting, because the scene before that happens, you have him basically fucking Lagtha, saying that he always desired her. He never, not the power, he just desired her. And that she seems to be young enough to have at least another child or a couple more. And he hopes and dreams for her, to bear him, children, and he'll be all happy and shit. So yeah. And she didn't answer him. So yeah, this is part 1 of my review of Vikings Season 2 Vikings Season 4 Episode 2, entitled Kill the Queen. So yeah, like the video, subscribe to the channel, you know the deal. Adios. Part 2 in a little bit.